Okay, so I will start now. So, like Shastra has said, like you can interrupt me anywhere, and like if you have anything to ask, you can just. So I have kept this presentation very easy, like very uh very informal. So you can like stop me anywhere. So I'm like going to like start with something which you already know. So we know the digital bit 0 and 1, and the quantum information we encode as like spin particles. So spin particles pointing up or pointing down. And the thing is, we can also the advantage of quantum computing is that we can use superposition. So superposition allow us to uh, like they allow us to do more potent. It makes our computation more potent compared to the ordinary computers. So like even like supercomputer made up of 100 qubits will outperform the best supercomputers. So the quantum computer made of 100 qubits will outperform the supercomputers. So this is like the property of quantum qubits that allows like superposition and entanglement, and it is possible because of it. So, and when we measure some superposition state, it will get collapsed into one of the eigenstate. So this is known as quantum decoherence, that when external environment interfere with our system, like Earth's magnetic field, and they will like collapse our system, like superposition state, to uh, one of the eigenstate. So we need protection from this. So the whole talk is about like providing topological protection to these qubits. So this is going to content of this talk. Like I will start with Ising model because it is like very easy to discuss things like quantum phase transition in. And this Ising model is mathematically equivalent to Kitai model, which is like simplest toy model for quantum topological quantum computing or fault tolerant quantum computing. And I will discuss Majorana modes in this Kitaev chain, and I will also give some introduction to other models like toric code. And at the end, I will discuss something else like other than topology, which can be used for the quantum computing as a memory for the quantum computing. So I will start with Ising model. So you can see the Hamiltonian of Ising model. It has spin interaction term and also external field term. So, and the G, there's G in this external field term. It is the like relative strength between the field and spin interaction. And when G is very small, then spin interaction term dominates, and all spin now will try to align. Spin will try to align in either down direction or all up direction. So wait, uh, something happened.
Yeah, we can't see anything on your screen except a black rectangle and some
Yeah.
crossed lines.
So I did like somebody did some annotation or something on the screen.
Wait, that's not
Okay,
a.
you have to disable annotations, Karthik. Just go to
Okay,
the
so
top pane and disable annotations.
Yeah, go to view options or something. You can do it there.
Yeah.
okay, I think it's fine now. You can
Yeah,
see
now
the
we
screen,
see.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, the screen.
But yeah, please
Okay,
disable those annotations so we can avoid further. Maybe it's again gone. Again.
okay, I think it's fine. Okay, so where was so when so we in the Hamiltonian we have two terms. One is spin interaction, one is field term. So when and G measures the like relative strength between external field and the spin interaction. And when this G parameter is very small, we can ignore the external field term and just we are just left with the spin interaction term. So this spin interaction terms, so it has sigma z term, so it will favors all the spin to align in either all down direction or either all up direction. So there are two ground state, all spin pointing down like shown in this picture, and it has symmetry which has like all spin pointing up. So there is symmetry in this phase, but when I increase this G very large, some greater than some critical value GC, then what we get is like all spin will try to align in along the direction of field. So when this field G term is very large, all spin will try to align in direction of field, and thing what will happen is, um, so we don't have now symmetry. So in earlier phase, like in the ferromagnetic phase where we have G lesser than some critical value GC, it is known as ferromagnetic phase because like we have some overall magnetization. If I measure some average value of sigma Z, it will be non-zero, and the value of sigma Z in the other phase is zero. And the ferromagnetic phase has two ground states, and but the paramagnetic phase has only one ground state, which is like all spin pointing in one direction. So this is like very simple, easiest phase transition to learn. So we can tune this G parameter, and we can go from magnetic phase to paramagnetic phase, and it can also be calculated that the value of GC where this transition happens is the transition point is 1, and it can be shown more rigorously, but I will avoid that for this talk. And this is just I want to say about the quantumizing chain. Now what we will do, we will just um, go to some other pictures. So what I will do is like we will represent spins as a particles. So now so what we'll do, like all spins which are pointing down, we will represent them as a particle, and all spin which is pointing up, we will represent them as hole. So hole in condensed matter physics means like devoid of electron. So where there is no electron, we call it hole. So we will go to this picture, which is like particle picture, from spin picture to particle picture. And in this particle, so what we do is like we write our Hamiltonian again in this particle picture, and the Hamiltonian which we get after doing, so this transformation is known as Jordan-Wigner transformation. So Hamiltonian which we get after this Jordan-Wigner transformation of transfer field Ising model is known as Kitaev. It is very similar to Kitaev-Chen. So this was like first model for first term model for the quantum computing. So this model looks very similar to Kitaev-Chen, and it has all properties which Kitaev-Chen has. So we will now discuss about the Kitaev-Chen. So in Kitaev-Chain, we have some fermion, and now we will imagine the fermion is consistent of two Majoranas. So I will just explain what is Majorana. So for example, electron, there is antiparticle of the electron is positron. Similarly, for some quark, we have some antiquark. For lepton, we have antilepton. But Majoranas are the particles which whose antiparticle is particle itself. For example, there's no example. The Majorana is the example of itself. So people in high energy physics were looking for Majoranas, but they never found out where is the Majorana. But like condensed matter physicists found out like Majorana can be found in very cold temperatures. So they found Majorana at cold temperatures. So the Majorana, so one fermion is consistent of two Majoranas, and in this picture we rewrite this Hamiltonian again, and we get the Hamiltonian of this form, and this Hamiltonian has two terms. One is saying like the strength between the Majoranas adjacent to two sites, and other term is saying like what is the strength between the Majorana at the same site. So when G is very large, what will happen is like Majoranas will pair at the same sites. So this is known as topological trivial phase. And when this G parameter is very small such that we can neglect this G, AJ, BJ, then we have coupling between Majonas at the adjacent sites, and this coupling leaves two Majorana which are at the edges unpaired. Now this unpaired Majonas can be used to can be now thought of as like one more fermion, which can be empty or occupied, corresponding to two ground state. So again, like if I just see the picture with Ising, in Ising when we have the ferromagnetic phase, then we had two ground states, when it's like all spin pointing down and all spin pointing up. And the paramagnetic phase, we just had only single ground state, so all spin pointing in one direction. Here the overall picture is that, like, in the topological trivial phase, we have the ground state, which is like single ground state, and for the topological non-trivial phase, we have two unpaired Majonas, which can be thought as one more fermion, and it can be empty or occupied, corresponding to two degenerate ground states. So this is all the correspondence. So this is all I want to say about the Kitab chain. Now this, what is now like, so what we have is this, that this Majorana pairs are very far
Karthik.
from each other. Hello.
Karthik.
Yes.
Yeah, can you just pause for a moment and please answer this question? So Abdul is asking, what is Majorana fermion? Fermionion.
What is Majorana fermion?
I guess you check the chat.
Okay, just.
Why is this screen this? Okay, maybe you don't just fiddle around with the screen. I'll read out the questions to you.
Okay. So can you read out the question?
Yeah, he's asking, what is Majorana fermionion? I don't know if that term even exists.
Okay. So okay, I will say this. So so we have like fermions. So for example, electron is a fermion, and antiparticle of electron is some positron. But there are some special kind of particles, some special types of fermions, whose particles are particles, like whose antiparticle is particle itself. For example, there is Majorana fermions who, if you say what is the antiparticle of itself, is the particle itself. And so there is something known as second quantization. I don't know, like, are you familiar with second quantization, like the C Dagger and C? Okay, maybe not. So I'm just saying, like for example, harmonic oscillator, we have creation and annihilation operators, right? So in harmonic oscillator, we have creation and annihilation of like A Dagger and A. So A Dagger creates more creates n to n plus 1, jumps the state from n to n plus 1, and A do the reverse thing. It brings from n plus 1 state to n state. So the fermionic creation, there is something known as fermionic creation operator, which are like in this CJ Dagger is fermionic creation operator. Like if you act this on some vacuum state, it will create some fermion. And if you act CJ, just CJ, not CJ Dagger, on this fermion, it will just annihilate that fermion. So there is some anti-commutation relation between the CJ Dagger and CJ, which is like CJ Dagger anti-commutation relation with CJ is just one, but the AJ, which are the Majonas, they have this relation, that they are the dagger of itself is AJ itself. So AJ dagger is AJ and BJ dagger is BJ. So this incorporates that information that the particles, antiparticles is particle itself. So did I answer your question?
Yeah, he has a follow-up question. Why can any fermion be written as a combination of two Majorana fermions? What does it mean?
So here what we are doing is like we are writing fermion as combination of 2 myrona, and in principle we can write any fermion in terms of 2 myronas. But the thing is, like, we see this thing, topological non-trivial phase here only. So like usual picture will be like this, topological trivial phase, where things, the myronas are like coupled with at that site only, the like existing site. But like just for this Kitaev chain, we have this myronas coupled with the adjacent sites, and this coupling is between adjacent sites, but like the boundaries don't have any neighbors, so they are left unpaired. And it can be now thought as like they can be thought as like they are very far away, but they can be thought as like 1 Fahrenheit degree, because what is happening is the Cj. So we have in the chain, we have, like, for example, n we have chain of n fermions, but you will see like there are more operators compared to number of Cjs. Like for each Cj we have 2 myronas, A and B. So what about the fermionic degrees? So the thing is, like Cj, again, Cj and Cj dagger are 2 degrees, but now A, because A dagger and A are the same thing, and B dagger and B are the same thing, so that whole fermionic degree is conserved. So, but you are saying like why cannot we write every electron as combination of 2 myronas? We can do that, but we will not get this coupling like this, like the coupling between the adjacent sites. So that's what Kitaev chain does.
I hope that answers your questions, Abdullah. Karthik, maybe you can continue. We don't have any follow-up questions.
Okay. So, it is like so I just want to say this, like this is the completion of this first part, like about the Kitaev chain. So this is all it is, like. But like, what is the topological protection, you may ask? Like the topological protection is that now like, for example, in Ising model, if I just we can just, for example, external magnetic field, if I apply external magnetic field in sigma z direction, then this symmetry which we had in ferromagnetic phase, that I'm saying that all ground, like all spin pointing down and all spin pointing up, they are 2 degenerate ground state. But when we are just going to put some small perturbation field pointing z direction, then it will destroy the symmetry, and we will have only one ground state. So for both ferromagnetic phase and so there will be only one ground state for ferromagnetic and paramagnetic phase. But this thing not destroyed in this Kitaev chain. So that's why, like this Kitaev chain is like called as topological model for the quantum computing, but Ising model, which is equivalent to Kitaev chain, but they are not have this topological property. So now I'm going to introduce one more model, which is known as toric chord. So toric chord is like, again, the Hamiltonian of this. So there you can imagine some sheet which has edges, has this spins. For like because it becoming consistent, so I just represented spin here, but like spin are like spread all around this sheet on the edges. And interaction, like the Hamiltonian for this thing is like this. So we have AS and BP. So AS is the star operator which act on the, so which is the, like, which says like product of all sigma z along which are adjacent to some side. So this is known as star operator, also known as vertex operator, which says like the product of all sigma z near one vertex. And we have placket operator. Placket operator is like product of all sigma x in product of all sigma x along one cell. So there are spins around this cell, and like product of all sigma x. So, and what we can do is like we can impose periodic boundary condition. What will do is like it will wrap this square sheet in form of a torus. That's why it's also known as toric chord. And I will just jump to what are the ground state of toric chord. So you can like start with a sheet which has all pointing up, and then you can make some more spins which are like pointing down. So for example, this torus, the all red and blue line are the spin which are pointing down, and all other spin in the torus are like pointing up. And we can have the ground state is combination. Now we have two things, like one is like loop of this spins which are going around the hole, and one loop of the spins is going around the one edge of the torus. So we can have like, so this is one is going around and one is going around the torus and one is going around the hole. So we so the ground state is combination of odd number of the odd number of this loops going around the hole and along the torus. So this is the one ground state. The other ground state consists of like two holes, two even number of loops pin pointing down going around the hole, and one odd number of this pins going.
Cut.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. There's a question in the
Hi.
chat. Someone's asking if you could explain a little bit more about the non-abelian statistics of Majorana fermions.
Sorry, non.
Could you explain a little bit more about the non-abelian statistics of Majorana fermions?
Okay, so so this is the part I have not covered in this talk, but I will just say this. So what I was saying about toric chord, in toric chord we have excitation, and excitations are known as, so in terms of quantum computation, the excitations are errors, and in condensed matter we call them excitations, and in toric chord this excitation are known as charges and vortices. So what will happen is like if just a second. So this is the toric chord, and we have the like this things, and like if this loop has all spin pointing down, so these are known as you can call it magnetic vortices. And these magnetic vortices, if you just so when the excitation are creation of two magnetic vortices, and when you create these two magnetic vortices, and if you can do some measurement, find out that there are two magnetic vortices and these are errors. So what you do is like you combine them, and when you combine them, the overall phase of the system is 1. So +1 is the phase. But what will happen is, if you have some other type of excitation which are known as star excitations, and if you combine this excitation again, if you just combine them again, then again the total phase is 1. But when these two appear simultaneously, what will happen is, if these two things appear simultaneous and if you try to move them, then it creates overall phase of -1, and which is like saying like we had some ground state, and if there were two excitations. So this is not like part of the presentation I have created, but like
So it's okay. So just the basic explanation was pretty good. Thank you for that. Also, so there is another question, but feel free to skip it for now. Someone is asking if you can tell any applications of non-abelian statistics for topological computation. But if it isn't like part of the flow of your talk, we can like just shift it to the end, and the person who has a question, he can contact you later.
Okay,
So
okay,
just
all right. Yeah. So,
okay.
so this okay. Fine. So yeah, this is. So all I want to say is like there are four ground state in this. The what are the ground state are like defined by like number of odd spin pointing down going around the hole, or like one other thing is like going around the torus. So number of loops which are going, it will like say what is the ground state. So there are four types of ground states, like odd number of like loops, or we can have like even odd, or all these combinations. So there are four combinations. One is even odd and one is even. So we have four combination, and this four combination gives us like four ground states. So they are like four ground states, and like we have now like this is like qubit consisting of four. Instead of like, for example, like earlier we were considering spin which is pointing up and down, we have four ground states. So this can be used as like for as qubits. So one ground state can be used as qubits. So one of the four states, you get the thing. So this number of these things, ground state depends on the topology. How? So what is the topology of system? So if topology, the system is like spherical, something like spherical or something, then so there is something known as genus. Genus says like number of holes in the your system. So for donut, it has one hole. A pretzel has three holes. So the degeneracy is just 4 raised to power g. So the toric, so all the thing is that that the grounds. Okay, this yeah. So the degeneracy is just 4 to raised to power g, and g is the like the genus of the this thing system. So yes. So yeah, I will just pause here. So is there any question? Okay, I think I will come back to this point maybe later. But like there's like third thing which I want to say, like it's the last thing. So there is something known as eigenstate thermalization hypothesis. So what is the idea is this thing, that if you take steam and if you take ice, if you just leave them in room temperature, they will just settle at some room temperature, and it doesn't matter if you take spin first and ice later. So they will like, just a second.
Karthik, is this your background noise?
Okay. Yes. So there is some. I will
Please reduce your microphone volume.
Hello.
Yeah.
Shaksha, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, so it's just simple thing. So if you take
Oh, okay. Sorry, Karthik, you need to raise the volume.
okay. Maybe I can. So
If you do.
section now.
Yeah,
Is it fine?
yeah.
So what I'm saying is like, if you take steam from your cooker, and if you take ice from your freezer, and you just leave them in the room temperature, they will just settle at the room temperature. It doesn't matter like what initial state you take, the system will always get thermalized. Thermalization means like the final thing which, so if I just ask you like thing like, if you have some spin arrangement, some sort of any system, and if it is like in thermal equilibrium, you will, if I ask you like what is the probability of this system in being this state, so you will just say that there is something known as Boltzmann distribution, which tells us that the system after the relaxation will go to the some state. So this is like same thing is like so this is hypothesis in quantum also, like because like quantum dynamics is different from our classical dynamics. But like this thing, like since all system will eventually fall into the Boltzmann distribution, because like if I just say you the initial state of the spin system is just pointing down, and if you just wait sufficiently long, you will just found like if you just do the quantum dynamics, it will always point down. And if the spin is pointing up, if you just do the quantum dynamics, it will always point up. But we know like if there are some sort like ensemble of spins, and if I ask you like what are the number of spins pointing down and what are the spin pointing up, then you will say, okay, no, we know the Boltzmann distribution, which tells us the probability of spin pointing down and spin pointing up. So, the same thing we like take for granted in quantum system, but it is not the case. So there are some violations. So I'm talking about those violations. So this violation was first observed in some experiment which happened recently and which has like shocked people. So I will not go into details of experiment, but I will just say it like in the experiment they are using atoms known as Rydberg atoms, and the Rydberg atoms has excitation like the principal quantum number for excitation is very large, and the system also doesn't allow. So I am representing a ground state as just whole and the excited state as just this blue thing, blue circle. So in the system it is not allowed to have two consecutive excited states, nearby excited state. So the all excited state should be all far apart. So this is very simplified version of this theory. So the ground state will be like all there is no excited state, and maximum energy state possible is alternative excited ground like that. We cannot have like excited state because it's forbidden. So maximum possible state is this. So when they did the experiment and they initialized with this maximum energy state, which in some sort correspond to infinite temperature, and if we initialize with this, we expect this after like system has relaxed to be in like the final thing to be in the Boltzmann distribution form. But what was found in this experiment was like not this experiment and some simulation other things, they found out like the system stayed in this form. Like, so if you initialize with this state, it remained in this state. So it is also seen in many body localization problem also, that if you start with some state, it remains, this system remain in that state. So the same thing is happening here. And the graph at the right hand side, what is showing is the revival of that state again. So psi0 is the initial state and psi t is the evolution of that psi0 state, and you see like the same state get revived again and again. So this is what happening. So this continuous revival, and this continuous revival, so if we have some quantum state which is like always there, like getting revived again, and if that thing can again be used as some quantum qubit, so that because that information is retained, so that information can be again used for the quantum computation. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Yeah, does anybody has any like things to ask? Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Maybe it's like I don't know, like fine. So I will just summarize what I have said. Like I started with Eisenstein. I just said about what is known as phase transition, and we have doubly degenerate state in Kitai model, which can use as quantum qubits. And we are also one more system to known as toric court, which has 4 degenerate ground state, and that can be again used as quantum qubits. And we saw weak violation of eigenstate thermalization, which is like some state. So it is like saying like there in some system, some setting, the steam doesn't go to the room temperature, it just stayed there. So it was like that. So this is thing, and yeah. So what I would thought was like it will be like discussion sort of thing. So I just prepare very less. So yeah.
I guess this is just a lot of information to take in, just for like 1 hour, like half an hour, 40 minutes or so. So
Yeah.
I think everybody would like to revisit this also once. The recording will be available on our YouTube channel. And I'm pretty sure like once people revisit it, you'll have a lot of questions on our Discord server. So look forward to that discussion, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So I will just mention one thing. Like lots of people like ask me who are not working on topological phase transition. They ask like, what is this topological phase transition? So I'll just explain in like very simple words. So topology is branch of physics which says like if you have like mobile phone and this marker, they are topological same thing because I can do some continuous transformation from this marker, continuous transformation, map this, do some continuous transformation on the sketch pen to go get this mobile phone, and the glasses and something which has two holes have the same topology. So and like also like coffee cup and donut, they have same topology. So this is like what is known as like for topologists, donut and a cup, they are the same thing. So now what is the topological phase transition? So if you go from spherical shape to a cup, which is shown involve some tearing. So whenever tearing and gluing is involved in some transformation, it means like you are doing some discontinuous transition. So what is happening in this quantum system? What is happening in like topological quantum system? So what is happening is like what I was talking about Ising model and this Kitaev-Chen. So just forget the details. What I want to just show is this graph on right. So this is a dispersion relation, and the dispersion relation. There is like the so there is known as something known as gap, bulk gap or mass gap. Like people like gap is uh, the difference between the first excitation and ground state energy. So the first excitation ground state energy is known as gap, and this gap is zero if we are near the critical point. So this for the g equal to 1, we have this graph which is like this graph, and this is 0, and for g equal to 1.5 and g equal to 1, the graph is like on above. So there is like some gap. So to go from one topological phase to other topological phase, so one quantum system to other quantum system, we need to like close this gap. So this is all about like the transition, like the connection with the topology. So yeah, so it's just like if you want to go from one topological phase to other topological phase in condensed matter, you have to close this delta to need to be 0 for like going to transition. Yeah. And sorry, the ground state I didn't like go through very well. So I will just say if you start with some all spin pointing up, you can like create more spin which are pointing down. So this red represent like all spin pointing down, and the all combination of this loops which we are forming is one of the ground state. So yeah, this, and like when we create one loop, if you go from left to right, the number of things always remain even. Like if you are from
ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡು ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೋಣ ಯೋಗ್ಯ ಕಟ್ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಾಕ
okay, okay, I will just end you. Hello.
Yeah, hi. I think it was a great talk. Thanks, Karthik. So
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi. Can you also provide some reading materials or like some books, suggest some books related to this, like qubits and quantum systems? Like, so like could read more briefly about them.
Karthik, you're muted, I guess.
Yes, I will do that. I will just send this thing to Shashwat and maybe he can provide it.
Saksham will update the reading material on our Discord server once Karthik sends this to us.
Okay, thank you.
since he also have his paper on archive, so maybe he could send that also.
Yeah, we'll share the link for that.
So is there any other question for Karthik?
I'll just make a comment here. So if the person who has a question, if he is looking for something to get him started with quantum mechanics and like the idea of qubits and everything in general, with some coding aspect to it, you can check out Qiskit's book. It's a whole book. It comprises of everything, starting from the very basics, linear algebra and everything, and then it goes to explain qubits and quantum computation and quantum mechanics in general for anybody, like even if you're from an engineering background. So it's a good source to check out.
Can you please write the name of the book in the chat box? Like it will be.
Oh, right now? I will find the link and put it. Just give me a sec.
Okay.
Also, you can have a look at this book by Nielsen and Chong. It's kind of considered the Bible for the people who are into quantum computation. So if you're viewing qubits from a perspective of quantum computation and stuff, you can have a look at that book also.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it is.
Yeah, so Sonal has put that link in the chat already. So do we have any more questions for Karthik?
Karthik, if you think it is appropriate now, maybe you can answer the question that came about earlier. Just like a very basic idea of application of non-abelian statistics for topological computation. If you could like briefly comment on that.
I guess he can't hear us.
Yeah, I guess we
Karthik?
have lost him because of the internet connection.
Okay. So he'll answer it on our Discord channel then.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
so
sure.
I guess thanks everyone
Awesome,
for
yes.
attending this. And we see you in the next section. Bye.
Hopefully see you all there and many, many more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.